How you doing, guys? Professor EDC with the first BLADE-OSOPHY video of this 2021. And well, let me start by wishing you a wonderful beginning of the year and a wonderful 2021. Let's hope it's a much better year than last year. And let's jump right in the topic. I would like to talk about what I would like to see in this year. And the first thing has to do with the community. I would like to see a stronger knife community, in the sense a stronger international knife community, and our sharing of information, of experience with brands, with steels, and materials. This is, I think, so important, and that we don't make it a debate, but rather a sharing of information. It's not a matter of being a fanboy of one company or the other, but rather being part of a community that is much more important than any brand. And we sometimes forget about that. The community comes before the brand. And in that sense, I'd like to see us generating dialogues and conversations much more enriching and deeper, and take a step further. But without this like negative vibe or negative debate like responses that we many times read in the comments below when something is said about this or that company or this or that steel. I'm not saying we shouldn't debate. I'm saying let's do it in a decent way. Let's do it in a way that we are sharing the information and not wanting to be right about something. That's the main point. That's it. Who cares if I'm right or wrong? The thing is sharing the information. The experience I have with these blades is valid. I use them. And as a user, because it's very different, a collector who uses their blades and a collector who doesn't use his or her blades. And here I'm talking directly to those who use their blades, because that's the information that I'm talking about. In order to find the quality, the performance of our blades, steels, materials, etc., we need to be users, as simple as that. It's okay if you collect and have them in glass boxes or whatever. It's perfect, to each their own. But for this matter, we need information from people who use their knives, who have a broader experience in the whole sense of what I'm talking about. And to put aside this fanboy thing and try to be more objective and share information, hey, my AD15, the S35BN held a wonderful edge, and I used it against soft woods, and I used it for carton boxes and to cook, and it held, I don't know, 2 months without failing me, until I had to strop it or sharpen it. So, and compare that information to my neighbor in the States or in Spain or in Argentina or in Mexico how he's doing or she's doing with that steel, with that blade, with that brand, you know. And in that sense, I think, like I said, we owe it to ourselves to test the quality of our blades and to test these companies, to put them to the test. And if they're not fulfilling their end of the bargain, then we should come together. We should pool together when necessary. And like a pretty good friend of mine told me once, he said, vote with your money. And I'll take it a step ahead and say, let our money speak for ourselves. Let us think of ourselves as investors, and each buy we make is an investment. And we are investing in these companies. Do they deserve it? That's something that each of us has to analyze through our experience and the information we get, that is, how much we study. Yeah, if an economist studies the markets and et cetera, as collectors, we should learn. We should study a bit about the steels, a bit about the companies, and pay attention to what's happening. Pay attention to what they're doing. Pay attention to, if they have less collaborations. Spyderco is having less collaborations, and they are doing more steel switching. That is, having base models, good base models, and just switching steels and colors on the blades. Yeah, that's fine up to a point, but hey, as an investor, I'd like you to be more creative. The same with Benchmade. And in matters of, for example, cold steel, as an investor, I have to wait and see what they're going to do, because the first movements they made, they pretty much screwed up. And Zero Tolerance is having a hard time, and little by little is trying to pick up their pace and find their niche. But I'm still waiting and to see if they get back on track, which I think they will. Microtech and Emerson, they have slowed down because of this COVID thing. And let's hope that all of these companies, all of them, have slowed down. They meet the demand of the international market this year. At least they start to. A company that deserves investing, TRM, Three Rivers Manufacturing. As an investor, heck yeah, I'll invest on that company. They're doing things right. They're taking their time, their pace and rhythm, and they're trying to give quality and good designs. And so far, I haven't seen that big of a problem or problems in matters of heat treatment and protocols. So, yeah, I would invest in TRM. Hinderer is doing fine. At least from my point of view, the supply has been, even though this pandemic, the supply of their blades has continued throughout the year at a bit slower rate, yeah, like all of them. But I think it's It's doing well. But that's the thing. Each one of us is going to have a different point of view. But let's place ourselves in the shoes of investors, and let's try to think and act a bit like them, and to take the side of the community and not the company. So, in that sense, that's what I'm talking about, having a stronger knife community and dialogues, okay? And when I said let money speak for us, I meant if somebody's not doing things right, if the quality doesn't meet our expectations or what is promised, then let's take the money out of there and put it somewhere else. As simple as that. But we must do this as a community, as a majority. Otherwise, it won't be felt. The company won't notice. I love each and every one of these brands and many others that I don't have on the table. But at the same time, if the quality, if they lower their quality and they increase their prices, well, that's just illogical and unethical. So we gotta watch out for those things, and let's watch out as a group, as a community, and let's watch each other's backs. That's what I'm proposing. Another thing I'd like to see this year is DLT trading reopening sales to Mexico. Please. I think the worst time has gone by, which is Christmas and these holidays, and I think by the end of January it'll be much safer to ship again. And a message to DLT, if they ever listen to this, which I don't think, but anyways, I have a good relationship with them. They're I think they're great people and honest. Think about UPS. I have shipped many blades from the States using UPS. Never have I gotten a single problem with UPS. They don't pay me anything. I'm not sponsored by anyone, not just UPS, but by anyone. But like I said, if the companies are not giving the quality they should, let's take our money elsewhere. Let's vote with our money. Let our money speak for ourselves. So that's just a little suggestion for DLT trading. Think about changing FedEx for UPS. Let's see. Because of COVID, companies haven't been able to meet the international market demand. And well, let's just hope that improves this year. But for that, we all have to be responsible with this COVID thing and take care of ourselves and our communities in that sense, so that we regain our jobs and our lives back. Another thing I'd like to see is last year we saw how vulnerable our economies are, and not just economies, but just talking about that. And I'd like to see, based on that, our economies took a pretty big hit, and I'm talking about the people. I'm talking about the jobs lost and the great depressions that we are going through. So, in that sense, I'd like to see companies readjusting prices according to the times we are living, or at least not increasing their prices. You know, it's a dead end if they continue to increase prices and an economy doesn't pick up. And it's just simple math, you know? But as simple as that may sound, greed is a powerful enemy. Yeah, that's a big ball to swallow. But it is what it is. In not only companies but knife makers, and you know, when you see some prices and the mid-tech is the same as a custom or almost the same, and no, it's just gone way too far. But anyways, I'd like to see companies and knife makers thinking about these situations, because we live in an interdependent world and reality, and their pricing is not independent from what is happening in the world, from what is happening in our countries and communities, from what is happening in our houses. When we lose our job, when we lose an income in the house, well, that means readjusting our expenses, and all of this goes out the window, you know? So I think some knife makers and companies have to really readjust their way of thinking. But let's see, just a thought. And well, I'd love to see cold steel improve, at least stay the same as they are. Fantastic company, great knives, good prices, and it's such a pity, such a pity. I don't know. I think from what I have lived, from my experience, the best assets of a company or of a country are its people. And in the case of cold steel, so far, we can see that Lynn Thompson didn't invest in the people. And that's a mistake in my point of view. I may be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, because I do love this brand and their knives and their prices. But anyways, you know, there's a fantastic example talking about investing in people, and oh yeah, oh yeah. Do you remember how the whole town invested in their team? The whole city invested in their team, and they became investors like we are. Anyways, just a thought. Another point, I'd like to see new steels. No. That's the topic. New steel, there we go. New steels versus designs. Yeah, we have a whole bunch of new steels, but they have to have the appropriate protocols and heat treatments. If not, it really doesn't matter if it's M390 or 420 HC. It's just ridiculous. So, and in that sense, a lot of companies have to improve and either stop using these premium steels that don't differentiate in performance from lower quality steels if they're not treated appropriately. Then take an S30V and make it great, make it perfect, instead of playing with M390 and giving it a poor quality, you know? And with all of this variety of new steels, I have seen also a decrease in creativity, in new designs, in new good designs. Of course, we have Andrew Demko, who's a genius, and well, many others. What can I say about Emerson? I love Ernest Emerson and his designs. Hinderer, Strider, Zebenza. Oh, how can I forget? Brad Southard. I love this thing. I really love this thing. Anyways, I have to continue. It's too long. But anyways, I'd like to see a recovery in collaborations, in creativity. Invest in people, invest in creators, not steals. Or okay, invest in steals, but I think a fantastic example is TRM. They have taken their time and they have done things very right. Yeah, might be 20, 30 bucks a bit more expensive than I would like, but this is a quality knife and I freaking love this blade. And I think it's, well, it's right here. It's one of my top 10 knives and I love it. And just a suggestion, if Marianne or anyone from TRM is listening, hopefully, a collaboration or two would be very interesting. And combining creativity and that diversity, that gimmick that creates collaborations. It's fantastic, isn't it? Well, that's just a thought. Anyways, that's it for today, guys. 23 minutes, that's more than enough. Have a great, fantastic year full of health and a good job, or a job that pays your bills and puts food on your table and keeps a roof on over your heads. And may you all be blessed, and thank you for following me and listening. Professor EDC out.